It is September 19th, 2016 at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, and this is Admissions Live. And as you can tell from my sunburn glow here, it is still summer in New Jersey. And today we're talking about really kind of the opening of the fall season and the NACAC conference. I am your host, Adam Castro. And today on the live broadcast, we're going to be setting the table for admissions' largest professional development conference, NACAC 2016 in Columbus, Ohio, which begins on September 22nd. So we're about to kick off here in the next few days. Admissions Live is part of the Higher Ed Live network, offering viewers direct access to the best and brightest minds in education. Live broadcasts allow viewers to share knowledge and participate in discussions around the most important issues in the industry. Today's live viewing experience is powered by Maestro, the premier marketing and tech platform for broadcasters. All episodes of Admissions Live are free and accessible in the video archives at higheredlive.com and in podcast format on iTunes. Today's episode is made possible by Chegg Enrollment Services. Chegg is a leading student marketing firm focused on helping institutions save time, save money, and recruit smarter. Leveraging a multi-channel approach that includes digital search sites, social media marketing, and direct-to-student messaging, Chegg's Enrollment Services can help you accelerate response time while capturing real-time student interest. Visit edu.chegg.com/insights to learn more about Chegg's most recent student research and recorded professional development webinars. Okay, so I'm super excited about this episode today because I think the NACAC conference is something that's hugely important for our field. Both at the school counselor level and at the admission recruiter level. And so we're going to do a couple things today. Today we're going to introduce you to the NACAC Local Advisory Committee, who are your eyes, ears, tweets, and snaps on the ground in Columbus. And I have not figured out Snapchat yet, but one day. They're going to help you navigate we're going to help you navigate the massive conference agenda to create your ideal NACAC roadmap. We're going to highlight can't miss events and networking opportunities. And we're going to help you explore Columbus, Ohio, and experience all things that make the OHIO special. Did I do that? I hope I did that effectively and appropriately for everybody from, okay, I got a thumbs up. Beautiful, beautiful. So to help me do that, I have three amazing guests with me today. First is Kate Sigety, the Manager of Communications, Content, and Social Media at NACAC. I have Kristen Dickerson, a school counselor at Gahanna Lincoln High School in Gahanna, Ohio. And I have Derek DuBose, Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at The Ohio State University. So we're gonna jump right into it. Our guests have a ton of information to share, everything to get you ready for NACAC 2016. For those of you that are following along today, I wanna encourage you to ask some questions via Twitter. You can just hashtag Higher Ed Live. I'll be following that hashtag over the course of the episode, and we'll try to get your questions answered on the air. So let's just jump right into it. So this is really just a roundtable discussion, and I think everybody would kind of like to hear, what is the local advisory committee? How did you guys get involved, and what's your role at the conference this year? So why don't we start off with Kristen?
Sure. Again, I'm Kristen Dickerson, and my role on the LAC is co-chair with Derek DuBose, and the whole reason that I ended up getting involved, I was involved with the National Professional Development Committee in the prior years to joining the LAC, and our former OACAC president asked me to be a part of leading the committee and helping everyone navigate Columbus when they get here.
Awesome. How about you, Derek?
Fairly similar to Kristen's, have been very active and involved through our national association with NACAC over the years. And it's kind of funny because a few years ago, Kristen, when she was in town in Washington, D.C., where I used to live before returning back home to Ohio, we were hanging out and just kind of talking about how NACAC was going to be in Columbus in a few years and how amazing that it's going to be as a great opportunity for Ohio and the city of Columbus. And when I moved back, it was so cool to get that phone call from our state and regional affiliate president at that time saying, hey, we have to have the Derek and Kristen team in play to make this happen. So what a wonderful opportunity, and very much we thank Ohio ACAC for thinking of us, but even more so proud to have this opportunity and to represent NACAC.
So we're gonna get the Derek and Kristen hashtag going at NACAC. Yeah, that might be a thing.
It just may be.
How about you, Kate? Kate, why don't you tell us how you're involved?
Hey there, sorry I had an issue with my microphone, but I'm here now. I've been on NACAC staff for about 4 years now, and I manage our social media. I'm also the editor of our bulletin, so I am thrilled to be at the conference this year. I'll be doing a lot behind the scenes. I'll be working at the information desk. All of us NACAC folks will be wearing bright turquoise vests. So if you see us and have a question, please ask, or if you just want to say hi, we're happy to chat too. So looking forward to this year's conference.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again for participating in this. I think you're going to give all the attendees some really valuable information. So Kristen, let's start with you. And you're an Ohio native.
Yep.
So I would love to hear a little bit more about Columbus as a NACAC venue. What are some things that people need to know before they depart for Columbus this year?
Sure. So I actually did make notes on this part because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. So first of all, the airport, everyone's going to probably be flying into John Glenn International. If that sounds confusing, the name was just changed a couple months ago from Port Columbus. So you'll be flying into the east side of town. Easiest way from the airport to get downtown to where the conference is probably either the Air Connect, which is $2.75. It's a COTA bus that goes from the airport and will drop you off downtown right at the convention center. There's some other stops, I think, right along High Street to get you to the airport where you need to go as well. Obviously, Uber is a good way to get around as well, especially once you get downtown. C-Bus is a great way to get around. That's actually a free COTA bus, has several stops throughout downtown and the Short North District, which is exactly where the conference is going to be located. And if you currently are in a Car2Go city and have a Car2Go membership, we also have Car2Go here in Columbus as well. And those are those little smart cars that you see buzzing around town. From the airport to get down to the convention center, it's about 7.5 miles. In Ohio, we usually go by minutes, not miles. So about 20 minutes, if that. And really, you can get anywhere in Columbus in 20 minutes. It's kind of the, people get here and we're like, oh yeah, you can get anywhere in 20 minutes. Is that true? It's pretty close. You had asked me to point out football allegiances. So the first thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned was that we do also have a soccer team here if we're going with that kind of football. So we're all loyal to the Columbus Crew here in Columbus. But we are really torn probably half and half as far as a Brown city or a Bengals city. We have some errant Steelers fans and stuff. We kind of put them to the side and root for one of those two home teams typically. I'll let Derek speak to Ohio State because they really are our professional football team in Central Ohio. So we definitely are all behind the Buckeyes and their winning streak. Most important things that you should do before you get to Columbus, definitely check the weather forecast. It looks like it's going to be gorgeous this week. You never know when we might get a pop-up storm here and there, so definitely bring a jacket, umbrella, that kind of thing. Definitely pack layers. The last time I was in the convention center, it was kind of cold, and it looks like the highs are going to be around 80 or 85 this week, so just make sure you have something appropriate to be inside and outside. As far as attire, Columbus is pretty laid back. You don't need to bring your glitter or, your super high heel shoes or anything. We're pretty low key, pretty laid back, dress like yourself and be yourself. And then the agenda, which I know we'll get into a little bit later. It is pretty massive. It is very intimidating, especially if you've never been to conference before. The first thing I would suggest is the NACAC app, because you can actually select sessions that you want to go to and create your own calendar, which makes it so much easier to just see the things you're interested in and not the rest of the static that's going on around it. You can see the full program book online on the NACAC website ahead of time if you want to see actually how that's laid out, which sometimes can help. And I definitely encourage everyone who's coming with a coworker to divide and conquer, because there are so many sessions offered at the same time that you can take home double the amount of information if you split up and do it that way instead. So hopefully I didn't forget anything. I know that was
No, I think
a
you're good.
long-winded answer.
Yeah, the reason why, I'm just trying to do a public safety announcement about the football, because I don't need anybody coming with Michigan gear into Ohio State country or anything like that.
Unless you're from Michigan.
That's not going to work. Well, I mean,
That's
still,
fine.
tread carefully then, right? Okay. Good. So let's talk about the agenda a little more and dive a little bit deeper in that. So I wanted to get, you guys have obviously know it kind of backwards and forwards, or at least as much as you can. So I just want to go one by one. We'll start with Kristen again and just say, what are the 1 to 2 sessions that really jumped out to you?
I am going to be a little selfish in this response as the former PD chair to point out the first timer session on Thursday at 10:30. If you have never been to conference, this is absolutely the session that you need to go to. We have a little meet your match thing that happens outside of the session room, and then you usually hear from some expert folks inside on more details on how to navigate the conference, what information to take back to your boss so that you can join us in Boston next year.
That is the idea, right? Absolutely.
Yes.
Derek, how are you?
There's so many amazing sessions going on this year. And I will honestly, I'm gonna put a small shameless plug for myself. Come see me on Friday morning. It's at 10:15 in the morning. Myself, Steve Frappier from the Westminster Schools, Tamara Seiler, of course, is on our NACAC Board of Directors, and Courtney Scarrett. We're going to be doing a session called We Are in This Together. It's about becoming the best ally for your LGBTQ students in the college search process. Now that we've got that out the way, there are so many other amazing and phenomenal sessions going on throughout the conference. I mean, I was kind of looking through the program over the last few days here and thinking, wow, what an amazing treat that folks are going to really be in store for as a part of this conference. I mean, one of the ones that sticks out to me, of course, is how to recruit and retain some of the key components for your long-term student success strategies. And of course, for many of us, as we know, when we look at college recruitment, not only do we want to recruit these students to our universities, but it's so important that we know that our students are finding the right college fit. They're successful in having amazing college experiences. So if they stay at our university and over the next 4 years or so graduate from our institution. So I know Rachel Hernandez from the University of Minnesota is, along with John Buckley, is doing that session. I think it's going to be an amazing opportunity for folks to connect with. And I also saw some other fun ones. One talking about more so the personalization of the personal statement versus the personalized questions. And so I think it's going to be really cool as you see more and more universities kind of focusing more on how you write your statement instead of just doing a traditional essay in the college search process. So there's so many amazing sessions going on, and I really think that folks are going to be in for an amazing treat. But even more so, they're just going to think, wow, how do I do all of this? And to Kristen's point, divide and conquer. When you have folks from multiple offices coming to the national conference, I want to encourage all of you to sit in the same session, but learn as much as you can as you reach across the board and just take that opportunity to really see what's out there. And when you get back to home base in your own offices, that's when you can have just an amazing conversation about what each of you have learned and really share that information with the colleagues in your own offices.
Awesome. Thank you for that. We need to make sure we'll tweet out these sessions also after the episode so people can just jot those down. Kate, why don't we move on to you? All right, looks like Kate is having some technical difficulties with her line. That's okay. We'll get her to log back in and we'll get her up and running shortly, I'm sure. So Derek, let's talk a little bit about day one. Can you tell us what we can expect from the opening session? Make sure you unmute that line.
I just realized my microphone was not unmuted yet. But of course, I'm not going to give all the secrets away. So you definitely going to make sure that you're in the room for our opening session. But I can definitely tell you it's going to be a high energy, great opportunity for folks just to reconnect when you see all of our state and regional affiliate organizations in the room together. But there's going to be some fun introductions along the way. Before even the session, just even when you enter the convention center on Wednesday and Thursday, and for Friday, for folks that are participating in our local counselor day. I think when you just see the energy when you walk into the room, you're going to feel it. We're very thankful for some amazing support that we've received from all over the country for this national conference. And I think when folks just walk into that room, walk into that space, they're going to say, I've experienced nothing like this before. And I really believe when you have the chance to kind of sit back and take it all in, you're going to feel so much at home. And that's what our profession is. You know, it's building those relationships, having that opportunity to connect with folks from all across the country. And really, that's what I love so much about this national conference, because it does exactly that. Yeah,
there's nothing quite like walking into the opening session and just seeing the mass of people getting ready to kind of embark on the conference. I think that is certainly something that's impressive, and certainly for a first timer kind of blows them away in terms of the size and scope of the conference. So you represent The Ohio State University. I want to make sure I say that correctly.
Thank you. Yeah.
You know, and obviously this is your home state. This is, you know, and Ohio State wants to represent well. So can you tell us a little bit about, you know, the buzz around your campus surrounding NACAC coming to Columbus?
There's been so much energy and excitement around our campus. I mean, it's not just our office, which I can tell you has been absolutely amazing and phenomenal. When I talk about undergraduate admissions and our team here and orientation first year experience, which are also part of our team at Ohio State, folks are just out of this world excited to represent The Ohio State University, welcome folks to our hometown, our community, and just show how amazing of a city this is. But it's not just on our campus, it's also in terms of the community. Folks are so excited to host this national conference. We're going to have, of course, as you know, over 6,500 folks in Columbus, Ohio, and the city of Columbus has been a phenomenal partner with The Ohio State University. So when you arrive here, of course, for many of you, I know are going to be getting here on Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. I encourage you, hopefully you'll stop by the North Market, particularly our friends that are high school counselors. We would love to connect with you for that official welcome that we'll be hosting, just to highlight some of the great things happening both with The Ohio State University and the city of Columbus. But also when I look around our campus community, our students are so invested in this experience. You have faculty, staff, I mean, amazing folks that, one, they know this conference is happening, but they're so supportive. And that's just how we do things at Ohio State. Anytime we have the opportunity to support one another, we come out in groves to make sure we're putting our best foot forward, just so folks can see what hospitality is like here in the Midwest, but especially in the city of Columbus.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to put on a fantastic show. So let's get to a really hard-hitting question here. What is the best way to spot a NACAC newbie, a first-timer?
The best way to spot a NACAC newbie, and we're a little partial to this, we have a little sticker this year. It's a little OHIO Buckeye guy in a way, but it's a fun little way that you'll see it on your badge. So everyone, when you arrive to conference, you're going to receive a badge. Our first-timers, you're going to have a little sticker. Make sure you put that sticker on your badge, and that'll be a great way for anyone to recognize you as a first-timer. There's a lot of great things that come along with that, too. So as Kristen mentioned earlier, you want to absolutely make sure you attend the first-timer session. They'll take place on Thursday morning when you arrive to the convention center. And there'll be some other fun ways just for you to get connected and engaged with the conference. But that stickers, I wish I had it with me right now. It's an amazing, it's a fun little piece that our friends, of course, at NACAC put together, and just so excited that folks are gonna have a chance to rock that out when they get to Columbus this week.
Nice. So you said, you know, certainly attending the first timers orientation in session is important for someone for the first time coming to the conference. Any other, you know, sage pieces of advice for a first time attendees?
Yes. And when I spoke a little bit about the first timers piece, I think a lot of times it can be so overwhelming to come to the national conference or attend the national conference for the first time, especially if you're the only person from your institution, or maybe you don't feel that you're as connected or know a lot of folks. Just say hello to someone, and I guarantee that you will feel like that individual is your new best friend. And that just relates. You're going to see a lot of folks giving hugs and high fives. You know, we're a touchy-feely profession. We truly do enjoy hearing about each other, what's going on in our own offices, but really best practices to help one another. For some of those first-timers, I always encourage you to make sure you'll have a meet your match icon on your badge. Definitely take the opportunity to meet your match. See who's in the room. It's another great way to build your network and to meet some new folks. Don't be afraid to hop on down to the vendor space, and we have some over 200 vendors that are going to be with us this week here for conference. You never know what new marketing concept or idea or new CRM that, even if you're not the decision maker in your office, it never hurts to have these experiences and to have these conversations. It just gives you something to take back to your own office and talk with those that are in leadership positions about, one, how we thought about some of these new initiatives I learned here at NACAC, or I spoke with a vendor that can really help enhance our visit experience on our campus. So I always encourage our first-time participants to take advantage of that. And I'm going to let you in on one small secret here. And I was very fortunate to have a very supportive boss and mentor early on in my career in admissions that said, Derek, you know what, if you are having an amazing conversation with someone that can help provide great advice to you in your career, help forward some of the things that you're trying to do professionally, I'm perfectly okay with you missing a session. Now, don't miss too many sessions, but I think it's so important that we value the opportunity to connect with one another and to build those relationships. So I even tell members of my own team here at Ohio State that, yes, I absolutely want you in sessions, but when you're building those great relationships and partnerships that you could be developing across the country, definitely take advantage of that. That means sitting down and having a cup of coffee and having that conversation. It's so much is going to benefit you as a professional. It's also going to benefit us as a university.
I think that's a great point. You know, Derek, only if you were excited about this event, I mean, that would be such a help. You know, you can just you exude this this crazy level of excitement, which is just great to see. But I think that you make a great point. I think this idea that when you're out there and you're networking and you're meeting people, you know, these are people that you're not going to see again, maybe for another year, if that. So really take advantage of those opportunities, and I think that'll go certainly a long way. And Kate is back with us, which I'm so glad to see. So I want to turn it over to her, and I want to talk about the NACAC 16 hashtag has been really active over the last couple weeks. Can you talk a little bit about what's trending about the conference? What are people talking about?
Yes, I would love to talk about the hashtag. And for those of you who do not know, our official hashtag is hashtag NACAC16. So far we've been seeing tons of excitement about Columbus. If you aren't following them already, follow the handle at NACAC16. They've been sending out a ton of great recommendations about where to eat, what to do, more information about our official handle. I also wanted to give a shout out to our EM chat folks. They had a great chat a couple of weeks ago, so we'll tweet out the transcript from that again, and I think it did an awesome job of building buzz about the conference and getting involved on social media and really just getting the word out there of who's excited about NACAC 16, who's packing, who's heading out that way this week, and we can't wait to see you all there.
Awesome. So how do you plan to use your social media platforms to engage attendees while at the conference?
So we're doing a number of things this year. We are going to be active on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. So please follow us on all of those platforms. Snapchat is new for us this year. We're going to have 2 geo filters. One you'll find in the registration area of the convention center, and the second you'll find during our NACAC social on Saturday night at COSI. We can't wait to see your snaps, so please take advantage of this. This is the first time that NACAC has done anything with Snapchat, and we can't wait to see what you all come up with. Also new this year, we're going to be utilizing Facebook Live. So we're going to feature hopefully an interview with a few members or speakers each day, and you'll get a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at the conference. It's also a great opportunity for those who can't be with us to see what's going on at conference as well. So please follow us on Facebook if you aren't already so that you get the notifications when we're live. Also this year we're doing an Instagram challenge. So you'll be getting some more information about that soon. So please check your email and you'll find out all of the different challenges you can take pictures of throughout the conference.
Awesome. So this is more of a personal interest of mine, but so what platform do you think is the most popular for attendees at NACAC?
So in the past, it's definitely been Twitter. Our attendees love to live tweet during the conference, and we definitely encourage you all to do so. It's also great for those who can't attend because they can kind of follow along. It's fun to do the quick snippets of what you learn in 140 characters, and people do that all day long, and it's so fun to see what everyone, their big takeaways and aha moments from the conference. Each day we're going to put together a Storify recap of the highlights of our attendees' social media posts, so that'll be a great way to see what everybody's tweeting and Instagramming about each day.
Yeah, I think one of the things that often goes overlooked is how many people follow these conference hashtags, even though they're not there. So the amount of information that you can put out using hashtag NACAC16, it's going to benefit, all the other professionals that are on Twitter or Instagram or what have you that are just not able to make it this year for whatever reason, but still get some of that information that's being put out.
Absolutely.
So,
and I know we already heard from a few people that can't make it this year that they'll be following along. So we hope to keep those people in the loop.
Absolutely. It'll keep people engaged, no doubt. So let's talk about networking, which is obviously, one of the most important aspects of NACAC. And we've touched on it a couple times over the beginning of this episode. But let's dive into a little bit more specifically. So what kind of tips can you guys give, anybody that's attending the conference to really take advantage of all the networking opportunities at the conference? And why don't we start with Kristen?
Sure. And I would say the biggest thing to take advantage of is to attend as many of those after-hour events as possible. Step out of your comfort zone a little bit, maybe go to an event of, a university or a vendor that maybe you haven't heard of before, or that you genuinely want some more information on. Or even if your students don't attend XYZ university, go find out some stuff about them, because the very next student that sees you may ask, hey, do you know of a great school that has all of this stuff? And lo and behold, you just randomly went to this event at your national conference and now have a perfect fit school for that student that's talking to you. Even if you go alone to some of these things, I know that going alone to a social event can be outside of lots of people's comfort zones. There are going to be probably 100+ other people at that event that are going to be more than happy to talk to you, not only about whatever it is that they're talking about at the event, but just about your career path and what you're all about in general. And it definitely can lead to maybe your next career move, or, a mentor in that area that can help point you in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a huge part of it. You never know who you're going to run into next and what their position is and how they may impact the rest of your career, which it's happened time and time again at NACAC.
Yep, absolutely.
Derek, anything you would like to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to also mention during sessions, don't be afraid to be that person that asks the most thought-provoking question that comes up in the room, because a lot of times that's going to spark dialogue and conversation both within the session, but even more so afterwards. And who knows what that can lead to. So I know sometimes we can be afraid or timid or a little bit shy when it comes to asking some of those questions, but don't be afraid to do so. And that's why so many of our presenters are there. They're there to be the educational experts, so they definitely want to hear from you too. And when it comes to those educational experts and presenters, at the end of the session, I always say, go introduce yourself. Make sure folks know that you were in the room. Don't be afraid to share your business card. I will tell you this, as you're getting ready to pack over the next day or so, make sure you pack a stack of business cards and that you are ready to go. I've got mine right here. I am ready to go this week for National Conference. So make sure you have those cards and that you share them, and just build that network and create some awesome dialogue for yourself, but also make sure you're sharing that wealth of knowledge that you're learning, the folks that you're learning from, for those back in your office.
Actually, I love the idea of being the person in the room that asks that question. That's always the best. Kate, anything to add?
Sure. I would love to add, don't be afraid to use social media as a networking tool. There's going to be a ton of people tweeting and on other platforms, so see who they are, and don't be afraid to meet up with someone who you may have connected with online but not yet in real person. So this is a great opportunity for that. Also, like Derek said with the business cards, make sure you pack yours. But also, whenever you receive someone's business card, a great idea is to write a little note about something you learned from them in conversation. Makes it a little bit easier to reconnect in the future.
That's a great point about the meetups. And I know you mentioned EM Chat earlier, and it's a fantastic Twitter chat to follow if you're an enrollment management professional. And they're doing a meetup at NACAC. And I know they're going to have a lot of people come out, and that's a great way to introduce yourself to new people and to learn a little bit more about what people are doing all over the country. So that's a fantastic tip. I want to stay with Katie and talk more about the conference app. So break this down for someone like me that can barely function his iPhone. What should we know about the app itself?
Sure. So attendees recently received an email with the full guide and instructions on how to download our app, which is very easy. It's available for iPhone, it's available for Android, and we also have it available online as well. The app has everything you could possibly need for conference. The full schedule. You're also going to be able to plan your own personal schedule. So like Kristen kind of mentioned before, you'll be able to pick and choose the sessions that really interest you and have those all grouped together for your own schedule. It's also going to allow you to access the PowerPoints from the sessions, as well as submit your session surveys after each session you attend. And you're going to want to do that because we're offering prizes for each session block to someone who submits their survey. It's also, the app also, we're posting the most up-to-date information from our conference. So if something changes, if there's a last minute thing where we have to change a room number or a time of a session or something like that, it's going to be posted in the conference app. So you're going to want to be up to date on the latest information.
Awesome. And something you touched on, I just want to reiterate, is this idea, someone that tries to present at as many conferences as I attend, the evaluations are really, really important. And I've been to NACAC, and I know it's really fast paced, and sometimes, you're running out of a room to get to another session or get to a meeting, and you don't really have time to fill out the evaluation right on the spot. But I think it's really important that those speakers get your feedback. So kind of going back, that evening and making sure that you're filling in those evaluations is really important.
Absolutely. They play a huge role, and we want to make sure, conferences are the best that they can be. So attendees' feedback is so important to us.
Okay, so another hard-hitting question here. I've heard a lot about Meet Your Match. It's been brought up here today. Just break this down for us so we can understand what it exactly is.
Sure. So Meet Your Match is a game that we play at basically every NACAC conference. It's an awesome opportunity for you as attendees to meet new people and to also get the chance to win prizes. So here's how it works. When you check in and pick up your badge and your materials, you're going to receive a button with a number on it. You're going to want to wear that button proudly and look for other people who have the same number as you. And you're going to have multiple matches throughout the conference. When you do find your match, the two of you should either go to the NACAC booth or the Common App booth, both in the exhibit hall, and have someone scan both of your badges. That will enter you in a chance to win our prizes. I have a list of our prizes, and they are not a joke this year. So they include a 2017 conference registration, the 2017 conference package, which includes your registration, your hotel, and your airfare, a $100 local Columbus gift card, an Apple Watch, and an Apple iPad Mini 4. So we're going to announce Meet Your Match winners at the general opening session, the welcome list session, and various breaks. And you also do not have to be present to win. We'll send you an email or a text message to let you know you've won.
Right. This game just got a lot more serious after you named the prizes.
Yes, they are awesome.
I think participation has just gone up. That's fantastic. And just another example of how NACAC is trying to get people to talk to one another and network. And I think acknowledging that that's such an important part of the conference, in combination with the professional development and the content in the sessions, for sure. I want to talk a little bit about vendors, because they also play a really important part in a NACAC conference. So I'll turn it to Kristen. I mean, there's going to be over 200 vendors at this year's conference, which is incredible. What would vendors like attendees to know about this part of the agenda?
I would say they just want the attendees to know that, they just want those people to know what their products have to offer. Oftentimes there is absolutely no commitment to walk up to a vendor and ask some questions and grab a business card and take things back with you. I know sometimes it can feel a little intimidating going in there, and I always compare it to how our students probably feel when they walk into a college fair. They're walking down the aisles and all these people are looking at them and smiling, and they're not sure where to look or who to look at or what kinds of questions to ask. There are also, as Kate said, even related to the Meet Your Match game, there are usually additional opportunities to win prizes from vendors as well. So through this week, you've probably received like little cards and stuff in the mail, maybe emails that say, hey, stop by our booth to register for. I saw one that was a Disney gift card and I put it in my pile. So whoever those people are, I'm going to go see them this week because I'm interested in a Disney gift card. So there are those kinds of opportunities to win. And I would really encourage everyone to stop through the vendor area, not only at any time, but especially on Thursday night at our welcome session. Thursday night at 6:30, it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a good first opportunity to make connections with those folks there in that area.
That's the best analogy I've ever heard. I mean, it's exactly right. You have all these admission professionals and school counselors walking around the vendor area, scared to approach a table, like, when we're on the road and we're trying to recruit students and they're doing the same things and they're talking with their friends and they're walking by. That's fantastic. And, I have a lot of friends that are on that side of the business, and they're there to network. I mean, it's their job as a vendor at the NACAC event to meet people and to inform people about their products and services. So trust me, they want you to come and strike up a conversation, introduce yourself, and just learn a little bit about what's out there in terms of the technology in the field, because it is changing at a rapid pace, and there's going to be stuff that are out there in terms of the exhibits that you have no idea that's even a possibility right now that you may be able to bring back to your office and utilize.
Right.
So definitely encourage you to check out those vendors. All right, Derek, so you've already said there's some top secret stuff going on, but is there some, can we do a little teaser for the conference social? What does NACAC have planned for that?
Absolutely. This conference social, I'm going to say, is absolutely amazing. One of the cornerstones that we have here in the city of Columbus is an adult, not just an adult, really an interactive museum for all students and all adults at all stages of life called COSI. And I can tell you, I mean, when we were just doing the walkthrough, and Saturday is definitely going to be a night to remember, an experience that you truly are not going to want to forget with this NACAC social. Of course, we're going to have one of our outstanding live music talents here in the city of Columbus called Mojo Flow, which will be headlining, of course, the indoor band experience that we're going to have there. So definitely some live music, an opportunity for you to show us how you can dance, how you get down with it, or, lack thereof. We've got something for everybody. But we also have, of course, what's really has been a part of a lot of our ACACs. Of course, as we know, everyone loves karaoke, whether you're watching or if you're a participant as yourself. We can't wait. I mean, the karaoke, it gets serious. It's a real deal every single year. So we've got some true vocal talents across the association, and can't wait for folks to show us what you got while you're on stage on Saturday. But also, of course, the COSI experience is just an amazing venue itself. It's a truly interactive experience. So, for example, you have the opportunity to there's a tightrope a bike that you can ride across the tightrope. So I encourage you to get there early. There's going to be a limited number of tickets to participate in that experience because it truly is exciting. Truly is one of those go-to experiences when you arrive to Coastside. Literally, when you walk straight through the doors, you're going to look up and say, "Oh my gosh, is someone riding a tightrope?" And yes, they absolutely will be doing that. And so definitely we encourage you to get there early so that you have the opportunity to do that. Some amazing food that really highlights the state of Ohio and the city of Columbus. Of course, we'll have beverages available for folks at any stage of life that you are in. So we got something for everybody when it comes to that too. And of course, one of my favorite parts of Coastside is really the back of the museum itself. It just offers such a picturesque backdrop of the city of Columbus. So if you like to take pictures and just want folks to say, hey, this is where I'm at, definitely that's a spot to be, and just some great entertainment. There'll also be some quiet spaces. We know sometimes folks just want to sit down and relax. It's been a long week. So like I mentioned, we truly have something for everyone, some interactive experiences for everyone. And I just know once you arrive to this social, it really is going to be just that true party, that true experience that really allows us to end this national conference on a high note.
That's fantastic. And so I took two things away from that. One, I have to figure out Snapchat before the conference social because that seems like it's going to be epic.
Yes.
And then two, you need to do me a favor. Steve Quinn, who is the president of the New Jersey ACAC, must do karaoke, and it must be filmed.
We'll get that taken care of. We got you covered.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you. So I want to talk a little bit more to the locals from Columbus. And let's talk about off-campus, at the conference and Columbus itself. What are some of the can't miss sites, eats, experiences that if people have a couple of extra hours to spare or stay in an extra day or two that they should definitely check out? Let's start with Kristen.
So when I first saw this question, I was like, Adam, you're really going to make me pick like one or two things that I absolutely love about Columbus. So I kind of narrowed it down. I decided that we would focus in on, or at least I would, focus in on things that are maybe within walking distance around the convention center. One of my favorite things in Columbus, I love being outside, riding my bike, hiking. I love the Scioto Mile. And the Scioto Mile is probably less than a half mile or so from the convention center. And it's a bike trail that goes from south of town at the Scioto Audubon all the way up around the river through downtown. It's just a gorgeous view of the city. You can actually rent a GoCo bicycle. We have those little per hour bicycles that are around town. You can grab one of those, take a bike ride down by the river. There are these big swings that are out by the river too that start playing music when you sit on them and start swinging. So it's a really relaxing, just great way to see our downtown area. I'm also a moving advertisement for a restaurant called Bakersfield, which is right down the street from the convention center. I probably go there once or twice a week. They have amazing tacos, wonderful margaritas if that's something you're interested in. But I absolutely love going there as well. If you're spending a whole extra day in Columbus, I'm going to encourage you to go out to the zoo. We have an award-winning zoo. It's Jack Hanna's home location, and it's probably 40 minutes or so, 30 minutes from the downtown area.
Awesome. I think we're going to get a retweet from the tourism board of Columbus. That was fantastic.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Derek, anything to add? How do you top that? But Derek, anything to add?
Absolutely. One of the great components that we've infused into this conference is what we call the C Bus, which really is your distance connector throughout the city of Columbus. It'll take you down from the German Village, which is an amazing neighborhood that features the Book Loft, one of my favorite restaurants. Schmitz is down there. And it takes you all the way through downtown, through the Convention Center district, up into the Short North. That's where I hang out here in Columbus. I love the Short North. It's really our arts and entertainment district where there's lots of great restaurants and shopping that's available for folks. I think a lot of folks are going to be spending a lot of time in the Short North and also the Arena District when they're here. And of course, those neighborhoods are adjacent to the Convention Center. With the Short North, I'm kind of going off of what Kristen mentioned earlier with Bakersfield is one of our favorite spots here in Columbus. But the owners of Bakersfield also opened up another restaurant literally 2 blocks away, which is another one of my favorites and a staple here, called the Eagle. And some folks are always asking, what type of food is the Eagle? I always say it's not quite soul food, but it's definitely some Southern comfort. So some amazing chicken. We had a group of school counselors from Illinois ACAC come here to visit us at Ohio State this summer and had the opportunity to take them for dinner there, and they had an amazing experience. But also some great restaurants. You also have right there in that region of the Short North. So we definitely encourage you. We have Melt, which is gourmet grilled cheeses. We've got the Pint House, the Hubbard Grill. I mean, you name it, we have it here in Columbus. But we really appreciate the local flair that's true to Columbus, Ohio. So definitely in that Short North district, you have some local homegrown shops such as Homage. It's a wonderful collegiate sportswear shop here in the region. And also, if you have an extra opportunity to get outside the district, I encourage you to check out what's called Easton. It truly is an amazing shopping corridor here in Columbus, Ohio. So it's about 10 minutes away from downtown, but anything that you can think of course, the city of Columbus, Ohio ranks as one of the top cities in the country when it comes to fashion, and of course, when it comes to shopping. So we encourage you to visit our friends out in Easton. You'll find limited brands, Express, of course, find their home right here in Columbus, Ohio. So definitely some of their flagship shops are right there in Easton.
Wow, fantastic. So people are not going to be bored. That's what I'm taking from this. There's plenty to do, both at the conference and around the conference site, which is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Great. And so who does Ohio State have this weekend?
Well, you know what? It's a bye week for us here at the Ohio State University. So
well planned.
We're in luck. We were able to get that coordinator. It just worked out that way this year. But we do have a bye week, so you are not going to have to compete with some of the best fans in the land here in Columbus, Ohio. They won't be, of course, right around campus, but you'll really be a part of that living experience that our best fans in the land get to live right here every single day in Columbus, Ohio.
Awesome. I'm sure that is an experience to behold. So I can't believe this has flown by, but it is time for some final thoughts on the conference. So what would you guys like to leave the attendees with as they embark for Columbus in the next couple of days? Why don't we start with you, Kate?
Sure. Well, I just want to say we cannot wait to see you all there. Take advantage of every single opportunity. Meet everyone you can. Give out, make it a personal challenge to give out all of the business cards you bring. And also, touching on what Kristen said earlier, definitely pack your comfortable shoes and your layers for the convention center.
Awesome. Thank you. Kristen.
I would say the only extra thing I would mention, especially as a high school counselor, if you are a school counselor and you have an opportunity to earn CEU credit towards your license renewal, don't forget to pick up the CEU paperwork, get it filled out, and get that turned in. That way you can get credit for being at the conference. Outside of that, learn, enjoy, take plenty of stuff back to your colleagues and students when you get home.
Awesome. And Derek, how about you?
I will honestly leave it on a high note. Make it fun. Have a blast here in Columbus, Ohio. Enjoy the conference and, be who you are, your authentic, true self. You never know who you're going to meet, what types of friendships and bonds you are going to form here at the national conference. But I think it's going to be one of those opportunities and experiences when you leave on a Sunday morning. You're going to think, wow, I can't wait to get to NACAC next year. And of course, to join our friends that are in Boston who will be hosting in the year 2017. So make it fun. Of course, learn as much as you can, but truly take that opportunity to take it all in and reaffirm the reason why we do the work that we do.
Fantastic. And I want to put in a personal plug for the End of Day 5K, which was an awesome event at last year's NACAC. I actually ran my best 5K time ever, and it was because I was chasing after the Zimi guys that were in, bright orange spandex and giant orange, wigs. So if you can get out there, follow those guys, you'll get a good time because they're pretty fast. Well, we're closing in on the hour here, guys. And, I'm personally just so excited about NACAC. And I think you guys did a wonderful job of explaining kind of the ins and outs and what to really look out for at the conference. And I appreciate you guys being on, Derek, Kate, and Kristen. What a fantastic way to get the information about the conference across. I'll put a challenge out there to the people listening, both live today and obviously on the podcast. And this will be in podcast form before the conference, so it would be great for a listen on your airplane ride over to Columbus. But you need to start taking selfies with these guys and tagging it on Twitter so I can see it. So find Derek and Kristen and Kate at the conference, say hi, let them know that you saw them on Higher Ed Live and Admissions Live today, and certainly snap that selfie. And if you can figure out Snapchat, do the filter thing that Kate was talking about. Thank you guys so much. In terms of next steps, I just want to thank, as always, our program sponsor, Chegg. And if you're going to NACAC, you know Chegg well. They are the awesome group behind Ship Your Swag at the NACAC conference, which allows you to kind of grab everything you want, whether it's from vendors, whether it's from schools, all that information that you want to send home but you have no place to put. They will ship it home for you. So definitely check out Chegg. And they're just a wonderful sponsor of Admission Live, and we appreciate their help getting us on board. So without further ado, this is it, guys, and we'll see you in Columbus. Have a safe journey and have a great conference. Thank you so much.
Bye, thank you.
Thanks.
See y'all.